What's going on, everybody in the VC? Craig here with my response to Maggie's 300 subs contest. So, starting off right off the bat, Maggie, you're my VC sista. You know how much I love you. I love watching your videos and talking with you back and forth. You know, whether it's on Facebook or messaging each other back and forth. And we all know how much we all love Maggie. I gotta tell you, you have some of the best emotional responses to VCLT and to your music. Like, you definitely show what it means to be connected to your music, not only just in the physical form of oh, I got this, but also how much it means to you. And it's awesome. I love you. You are my sister, long lost. Thank you, VC, for bringing us together. So, basically the whole premise of her contest, she had 3 different questions, and I've been waiting to do a response for this, been wanting to do one for a few days now, but had to get everything assembled, and this heat has been unbearable we have out here. Just fucking sucked. So, glad to finally be completely hydrated and able to do a video. So, quick VC cheer to everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. And Maggie, I'm doing this for you. Vibing with you on the Parallel Lines, my Blondie. If you haven't seen it yet, Maggie received this in some VCLT for her birthday from Laura. So very, very cool. Great album. What needs to be said? Classic. So, first one was basically album covers, and music. So basically, great album cover, bad music, bad album cover, great music. And I took the same kind of approach that Travis did. I don't have really a lot of bad music in here. I do have my fair share, kind of music in here, but more or less that's a lot of the fill-in spots, because I'm such an artist collection freak that I have to have everything. That their albums are subpar and stuff like that, but I don't collect shitty music. Trust me, it'll just be a pain in my ass and a waste of space. So, but I did manage to pull out a few, all from the same artist, and oh god, these are just god awful artwork. I mean, and particularly for one reason, I don't see it as a good recurring theme. I see it as a what the hell, but it made it stand out, and it immediately popped in my head as soon as I thought of this. So, bad album covers, great music. And the band I'm talking about is the band Riot. Now, I've got 6 of their albums, 4 of which have bad covers. I mean, just shitty. So you got the album cover for Rock City, which I don't understand what the whole premise is of this. Okay, that's pretty cool. You got that all blowing up. You got some sort of zombie radioactive body here. But then you got the animal head thing. I don't get it. I don't understand. Back cover, cool. Nothing too weird about that. And then you got the album cover for Narita, which just once again, cool stuff, the airplane, that's cool, all the skulls and everything, that's awesome, but then again, what the fuck's going on with that head? Really? I don't get the animal head thing, and then, just album cover on the back, just nothing cool, just some live shots, very cool. And honestly, album covers do not speak for the music that is held in these. This is my favorite album of theirs, Fire Down Under. This is just god-awful. Nothing about this album cover is cool. Nothing makes it great. The music on the inside, though, holy shit. I highly recommend this to anybody who's a, late 70s, early 80s, hard rock, not heavy enough to be metal in my eyes, but definitely really just heavy rock. Great driving music. I've been hooked to this band since I was a kid. First time I ever heard the first track off this, Swords and Tequila. Great album. And another classic of theirs, but just a what the fuck album cover, Restless Breed. what in the hell? What is this? I don't know. It made me laugh the first time I ever saw this album cover, but I was like, it's Riot. It's gonna be good. Of course it is. But, dude, shitty album covers. So, there you go. Bad album covers, great music. So, second question was movies and music, involvement in it, whether it be soundtracks, whether it actually be like vinyl in it, or focused around a music store or something like that. So I mean, examples: High Fidelity, obviously focused around a record store, and Almost Famous. I mean, there's obviously there's vinyl references in it. I mean, the radio station scene, where certain scenes like that. Seeing those when I was in my really early teens. I mean, I'm kind of like, gasping, going, oh, look at all that vinyl, that's crazy, and seeing like copies of like, Morrison Hotel, and then when, Lester Bangs pulls out the album Raw Power by Iggy and the Stooges, and I'm like, it's so iconic, and I'm going, oh my god, and hearing that in the movie was the first time I'd ever actually heard the album, or at least, the first, snippet of Seek and Destroy, Search and Destroy, sorry. Kept thinking of Metallica, but just shit like that, and obviously High Fidelity, we all know that, whatever. But then I kind of took the angle of thinking about great soundtracks, or like music references in it and stuff like that, and I picked one of my favorite movies of all time, and I'm not going for cinema greatness here, I'm going for just a fucking great movie, and that would be both Wayne's World 1 and 2. Now, why I took these? Alright, immediately when I started thinking of movies, I immediately thought of Wayne's World 2, but I'll kind of talk about Wayne's World 1 first. So, this one, I think they get kind of missed for as many music references and how relied on music these movies are. Great soundtracks on both, and the placement of the music in these movies, stellar. And then you got a live performance from Alice Cooper in this, in the first one. You can't beat great music in a movie and not only get a great laugh out of it too. So, but Wayne's World 2, here's where the vinyl reference comes in. If anybody hasn't seen the scene from this, just type in Wayne's World vinyl here on YouTube, and you'll see the clip. But in this, for anybody who hasn't seen it, basically, you got Wayne Campbell here, Mike Myers. Him and his girlfriend Cassandra are in her apartment, and she pulls out some records that she had bought at a garage sale. And immediately, the first one up is Frampton Comes Alive. She's like, this is great. You ever heard it? And she's like, or he goes, yeah, Frampton Comes Alive. Everybody in the world has Frampton Comes Alive. It came in the mail with samples of Tide. That's an abridged, quote, but there you go. Jerry and the Pacemakers albums in there, and also Rolling Stone's Sticky Fingers, stuff like that. So that was really, really cool kind of vinyl reference, and they talk about, this was 93 when this came out, and just talking about, her album would never be made on vinyl, and they'd stopped making vinyl at that point, so cool little reference. But both these movies, great soundtracks. You've got Aerosmith making two different appearances, performance-wise, in this one, playing Dude Looks Like a Lady in the beginning, and then Shut Up and Dance at the tail end and over the credits. So, very, very cool. Highly recommend these to anybody who hasn't seen them yet, but you must be living under a rock if you've never seen these movies before. Hilarious, great parodies of, other movies, satire. Great music used in them. I love those movies, and I can't stress enough how essential they are to anybody's movie collection. Even if you're a crazy, cinematography, director-driven, these intense movies that are, mean so much, or whether you have an art angle, whatever. If you're gonna have some comedy in your collection, Wayne's World's the way to go. So, on to the final question, which was songs that make you basically just stop what you're doing, and like all your attention is directed at that song, and you're basically like kind of at a standstill. You have to, listen to the song. And there's a ton of songs that came to mind that I had to kind of start figuring out, I'm like, okay, well, that one evokes more of this emotion, and I can still, if I thought about it, if I'm at work and I hear a particular song, is it going to make me stop and want to just stand next to the radio? Or am I going to just kind of hum it to myself, maybe sing along and keep working? Or maybe start thinking, whatever the emotion, evokes in me. So I finally settled on a song that has always been a favorite of mine, just, for, its whole lyrical, standpoint. Even the music's great. It's one of my favorite bands, but it's developed into a whole nother, thing for me, and it really evokes this bigger emotion out of me now, where anytime I hear it, even though I've heard it 1,000 times, I still stop what I'm doing. Unless I'm driving, I'm not going to stop the car in the middle of the fucking freeway, but you know what I mean. And that would be All You Need Is Love by the Beatles. Now, I know what you're thinking. This isn't, like, okay, well, it's just, it's a good, obviously love-driven, peace-driven song, but, nothing too crazy special, it's a good song. For me, it brings a whole nother realm to it, because it's actually my fiance and I's song. And, I know it's, okay, it reminds you of her, that's cool, but the lyrics took on a whole nother meaning to me once she, became a part of my life, and, we were building this thing together. And we're both huge Beatles fans, and, it was inevitable that a Beatles song was going to be, our favorite song together, and, define us. And that's a great definition of who we are as people, and, who we are together. And in the last, little over a year now that we've been together, every time I hear that song, which isn't too often, I don't listen to it like on repeat all the time, I'll, find myself just sort of stop what I'm doing and just kind of sit there and analyze the lyrics and, start thinking about things, and it'll really just sit with me. And I can't focus on anything else. I have to be in that bubble with the song and let it, wrap around me and become, a part of who I am in those couple of minutes that it's there. And that pretty much, sums up, when I thought of, okay, a song that, makes you stop and think, or become a part of it. And that's a song that, does it, and will obviously now, for the rest of my life, always be that song that makes me stop. Couldn't pick any better of a song. Plenty of other songs out there that draw so many different emotions out of me, but that one, probably the most pivotal, I'd say. So, on that note, I'm done with my response. So, Maggie, again, congratulations on the subs. Why it's only 300, I have no clue. Let's just add another 0 on there and make it 3,000. Give you the most subs in the VC. That's probably the most subs in the VC. I don't know. I don't think we want it to balloon out too huge. Yeah, like the Final Resurgence hasn't ballooned out enough. But anyway, enough of my rambling. Again, Maggie, congrats. I love you. And I will see you guys in my next video. Peace.